and welcome back to another episode of Penguin Nonsense. I am your host, Edith, and it is another Monday, and we are starting another week, so another penny, right? I don't know. Maybe some of y'all make good money. It might be $1. Who knows, right? Another day, another dollar. But thank y'all for being here. I'm glad that y'all are here, whether it may be from your gym, from your home, from your car, commuting to work, not commuting, commuting to work or to the gym, to the store, wherever it may be. I'm glad you're here, you're listening, and here are your stories for today's week. So let's get to it. And our first story of the week is from England. I chose this story mainly because there's a lot of stuff going around at the moment, and I think the big news is Israel. And as much as I wanted to do an article on what's going on in Israel, I feel like the story is still developing, and I also try not to, I feel like whenever I give my opinions, I try to keep them open-minded to where, like, I want to hear your thoughts too. I try not to make them too political or too one-sided. I try to look at both sides. I try to play devil's advocate and everything. Obviously, there's some things you don't play devil's advocate with. And this Israel story is one of those. I hate what's happening over there. My prayers go out to the country, but it's something that I kind of want to wait to see where things go, see what keeps happening, what keeps going down there. But wherever you may be, this is not about religion. This is about just normal human beings caring about people who are just innocent and dying because somebody has decided to do something stupid. And I just think it's not fair that innocent people are dying because of this. And I think that should be worrisome to everybody out there. I think that everybody should be okay at not wondering whether this is religious or not religious. This is about human beings, and I feel like everyone should be giving them the best of vibes, whether you believe in vibes or in prayer or whatever it is that you believe in. Good luck, I don't know. Send them their way because they really need it at this moment. They need everything they possibly can get. And I know that sometimes it takes a while for anyone to be able to do anything. And I'm sure that eventually we'll start getting a lot of these places who will start sending maybe food supplies and all that stuff for them, for like the people they have to keep in like the helping camps that help them, whoever has lost homes or stuff like that kind of stuff. So I'm sure we'll be able to help that way too later on. But I think at the moment it's too early, but our hearts still go out to Israel. And we'll keep praying that. I'm not saying that I know things will get better, but I pray that they don't suffer too much. I think that's the thing. I feel like the world just keeps getting worse, and our best of prayers can be for them not to suffer too much. So our best of prayers go out to them, and I pray that everybody does the same and wishes them or just keeps them in mind every now and then. Hug your family members a little longer. Know that you never know when tomorrow will be your last day. So I hate to start off with a sad note, which is why I try to find some lighter stories this week, something that's not too bad, and try to keep this a little bit on the happier side. So, which is why I found this story from England, and I think it's one of those stories that has some potential. So it goes, England got a new cancer jab to slash treatment times. It goes, widely billed as a 7-minute treatment for cancer and a world first adosolizumab jabs are being made available to the patients in England. And if I didn't pronounce that right, I'm so sorry. Medicines, right? Given to around 3,600 people a year in England for lung, breast, liver, and bladder cancer. The immunotherapy drug, also known as Tecentriq, is usually administered intravenously via a drip that can take around 30 minutes or up to an hour if medics struggle to locate a vein. However, within weeks, the National Health Service in England will roll out a new treatment administering the adosolizumab with a simple under-the-skin injection, which should take as little as 7 minutes. Maintaining the best possible quality of life for cancer patients is vital. So the introduction of faster under-the-skin injections will be an important difference, said the NHS National Director for Cancer, Professor Peter Johnson. I think that is amazing news because cancer patients, I feel like they go through a lot. I don't think that's a secret that nobody knows. I feel like cancer patients have to fight a fight that their own body is doing, and it sucks that sometimes they have to go through that. Their own body is deciding to make them sick or whatever, and it's not an easy fight. And sadly, sometimes that comes with a lot of pain, with a lot of treatments, with a lot of rounds of chemotherapy, and who knows what all other stuff they had to go through. I've been blessed to only have one person in my family ever have to go through cancer, which was my grandma, and thankfully she fought hard and she's cancer free now. But I do know that it's a struggle to know that maybe or maybe not you'll be here the next day. But I think that's just with any other day in life. But to have to go through it with the pain that you had to go through it is just that much harder. So I'm glad that this medicine for cancer is getting better, because I feel like that's what needs to be happening. As I feel like we need to keep getting better with the medicine, and we are. And I think that's great, because I feel like cancer is one of the things that's always around, and it's something that's so big, yet we don't really have that many way to cure it. And so the fact that they are making these drugs better for them is just amazing to me. I think it's something that should be in all the medical places priorities, and I'm sure they are. I don't know. I don't visit the medical centers and when they do these tests and stuff like that, but I feel like it should be one of the top priorities, is trying to find solutions to make cancer either treatable or in better ways than the ways we have now. Because I have never, to this day, I don't think I've met a cancer patient that has said treatment was a breeze. Treatments usually are not a breeze. Treatments are usually hard, exhausting, painful, and sometimes you feel more sick with the treatments than without the treatments. So I'm just glad that in 7 minutes, it's great. It's if it works for them in 7 minutes compared to the where it said it could take around 30 minutes or up to an hour if the medics found hard to find the vein and stuff, to go to something that takes so long to not go into 7 minutes. It's just amazing to me. I love science. I love that it keeps making things better for us, and sometimes it does makes things worse for us, and finding new diseases and stuff. But at the same time, it's one of those pick your poison. You either get good situations like this one, where you find a better drug for the cancer, or you get the bad situations, which is new diseases and stuff. But at the end of the day, it's something we need. It's something for them that they need to keep researching for things to get better and for us to have a better help with these vaccinations and stuff. So I think it's a good thing. I thought it was a good story and a happy story to know that things are getting better in the cancer world. And hopefully one day we can live in a world where they have good treatments and decent treatments for the people who do have to get through cancer. So I was really glad when I read that. I hope y'all feel the same way. And if y'all don't, leave your comments as to why y'all don't feel the same way. Like I said, I'm not here to change anybody's mind. I'm just here to say my opinion and hopefully try to see both sides of these stories. So let me know what you guys think, and we'll go on to our next story. And if you heard the dog, just ignore. Alright, our next story is from Reddit, but this time it's not really Am I the A-hole story. It's from a subreddit called Am I the Bad Apple? From user QueenBeeJackie1. I'm going to start trying to remember to say the users because I know some people want to go out and look the story for themselves, even though we leave links on the videos below so y'all can see them yourselves or share them if you want to. It's just probably nicer to give them full credit. I thought I was giving credit by putting in the links, but I was told that it would probably be better to go ahead and say their username, so I apologize. And that is the username, and that's where I got it from. So the title goes, Am I the bad apple for getting my mother-in-law and husband to fight and stop talking over a pumpkin patch? Okay, when I read the story, I was like, a pumpkin patch? What kind of stuff are you doing that people would fight over a pumpkin patch? But we're getting ready to find out. I, 29 female, and husband, 30 male, spend a lot of holidays with his family. I love his family and never get into fights or arguments. Last year around Halloween, I was 9 months pregnant and asked my husband if it would be okay to make plans earlier at the end of September for the yearly pumpkin patch with his family, just in case I went into labor. We have 2 other kids, and I wanted to make sure that they were a part of the pumpkin patch before the new baby arrived. My husband's sister made a big deal about going early. On that weekend, Saturday, her daughter has soccer. It was just too much for that day. Okay, so we said, how about Sunday? That worked. A week before we went, his sister now said her son has a birthday party he needed to go to. So we said we will go earlier in the day. A day before, she cancels completely because waking her daughter up 2 days in a row wasn't going to work, and they would go to the pumpkin patch without the family, and for us to still go without them. My husband's mother got so mad that she canceled the whole thing, and none of his family went with us. We still went because I wanted my kids to go, and we even invited his mother, but she said it wasn't fair for her to come with us and not the other grandchildren. I was upset over this because we don't ever plan anything and always make plans work with his family, no matter what, and they couldn't do one holiday work for us. After all went down, his mother said it's just too hard to make plans with all her kids and their families, so around Halloween, she is just going to spend time with the grandkids next year. Fast forward to his year, I think she meant to this year. She wrote his year. Fast forward to this year, I made plans with my family to go to the pumpkin patch. I talked to my mom in July about going with us, and she was so happy. She has never been to a pumpkin patch. And goes, sorry, I lost track. She said she would like to go because she has never gone to a pumpkin patch herself. So, they went to the pumpkin patch, and so it found out that the mother-in-law said that she better not find out that if they had gone to the pumpkin patch without her, and that the husband said they were going to go, but it didn't bother to mention that the mom was coming, or the other mom, the mom of the wife. And so later on, they went to the pumpkin patch and everything was fine until the mom posted pictures on Facebook. Later that night, my husband gets cussed out by his mother because we went with my mom. She goes on to say how she doesn't understand how we could go with my mom when it's her tradition to do pumpkin patch every year. She continues to say how she just knew this was going to happen when he got with me. She blocked us from Facebook, and now isn't talking. So, am I the bad apple for not going to her pumpkin patch? Should I have went to keep the peace? That one, I feel like some people just need to set some boundaries. And here's my thing on it. I feel as the mother-in-law of, the mom of the husband, I don't understand why she's so mad about this pumpkin patch. I understand traditions, and I understand people trying to make traditions for their grandkids. It's fine. But if somebody in the family is not willing to work with the rest of the family, but that one person is always having to give in to what that family wants, it's very unfair at that point. So I don't think she was a bad person for going to the pumpkin patch with her own family. She wanted the kids to have some fun and before she gave birth, and I think it was acceptable for her to go to this pumpkin patch on her own. And then the year that followed, she was like, well, if that's how they want to be treated, then I'll just make a pumpkin patch with my mom and we'll do it that way. And I think it's so rude that the other mother-in-law was like, oh, well, if I see Facebook pictures, I better not see them, blah, blah, that kind of stuff. Like, who are you to dictate whether a person can or can't go out to somewhere just because you don't get to go? I think it was very rude of her to be like that. And I think it's even ruder that other mother-in-law, the mom of the wife, couldn't go, So I think that it was okay for that lady, for the mom to take her mom, and the husband was okay with it. So I don't think she was the bad apple. I think that she did good. She did what was best for her children. She wanted her children to have fun. She wanted her children to have memories with the other grandma too, not just the husband's mom. So I think that was great. I think it was great of her to take them. And that other mother-in-law, the one from the dad's side, that mom just needs to stop being so, what's the word for it? Spoil. Rotten is what a comment said, is what somebody was saying. They were just spoiled rotten, and yeah, I definitely get it. Like, then plus that lady, the other sister-in-law, didn't help. Like, oh, I don't want to wake up my kid early 2 days in a row. Like, okay, why not? Could the kid not take a nap? Like, couldn't they take a nap later? Like, I feel like they had something against this lady for no reason, and maybe we don't know the whole context. Maybe this lady has always been a type of way, and maybe nobody likes her for being a certain type of way. But from the context we get, it just seems rude from the other person to not want to help out and all of a sudden cancel at last minute. I feel like they kept trying to get out of it from the very beginning of like, oh no, we can't do that day, or oh no, she has a soccer game, oh no, my son has a birthday he has to go to. Like, it was always them. So I feel like one way or another, even if she if this OP had the most available time in her whole entire life, the sister-in-law would have found a way to cancel one way or another because they probably didn't want to spend time with him. I feel like that's how it would have been. And it sucks. It sucks that there's people out there like that who want to treat the rest of the family the same. They are now one big family, so they should all be treated the same. So I feel for her. And that's just toxic. But I'm glad that her husband had her back and was like, I'm okay with it. If you want to go, we can go with your mother and we'll take the kids to Pumpkin Patch, and that's that. So we read a lot of stories of like where the husband doesn't, stand his ground or that kind of stuff, and doesn't support the wife and that kind of stuff. So I'm kind of glad that he did. I'm kind of glad that he was okay with everything going down the way it went down. But it does suck that they had to argue over this, him and his mom, because at the end of the day, she should be allowed to do whatever she wants. If she wants to take her mom to a pumpkin patch, she'll take her mom to a pumpkin patch. And I don't understand, like, she was the one who canceled too, the whole thing. Like, I don't understand why she couldn't have gone with those grandkids, and then the other family said they were going to go later, then later go with those kids at some other time. Like, I don't understand why she absolutely needed to have all the families there with her at that one moment, I feel like it was also her fault. I felt like she also needed to be there for that family and for the other family, and not just because one family canceled, all of a sudden you're going to call it all off. So, I don't know. I think it was rude of both of them with that whole family inside, and they need to take a look in the mirror of themselves. But not the bad apple. Sticking to that one. What do you guys think? Do you think this could have gone a better way? What do you think should have been done? Could they have handled it, I guess, better in the sense? But I don't think she caused a fight. I feel like that mother-in-law was looking for a fight. And she made a really side comment where she's like, I knew this kind of stuff would start happening when you married him. Like, what was that about? I had no idea. I would like to know some context to that. But I feel like that was a low blow. And so it just kind of sounds like the mother-in-law doesn't like her to begin with. So that might be one other thing to unravel there, or like unfold on that one. But we don't have time for that. But it definitely just sounds like they didn't like her. And they weren't going to go with her. But they also didn't want her to have the fun that she wanted to do with her kids. So, which is strange. How can you not let just somebody go and do their own thing? But it is what it is. I hope OP realizes that she wasn't the bad apple, and that she keeps doing what she feels like she wants to do with her family, and that these people get it together and not just keep holding that against her. Because that is ridiculous over a pumpkin patch, please. Humanity sometimes, right? On to our next post. Or story, not post. So this one says a happy story, a good way to end it. And I don't know if it's a happy story, but I thought it was good news, and I feel like more companies should do this. So I'll read the title. It says, Walmart to ditch degree requirements for hundreds of corporate jobs to help eliminate unnecessary barriers. No degree? No problem. This is what Walmart is telling candidates interested in many of its corporate positions. The retailer plans to rewrite hundreds of job descriptions for corporate job titles. It is said in a post on the website. Applicants can have either a college degree or show that they have the necessary skills through prior experience. Quote, while degrees should be a part of the equation and in some cases even required, there are many roles where a degree is simply unnecessary, including at corporate headquarters. Lorraine Stomsky, Walmart Senior Vice President of Associate Learning and Leadership, and Julie Gerke, Vice President of Philanthropy, wrote in the blog post, the move is part of a larger effort for the big box chain to invest in growth opportunities, it said. In Arkansas, based company is also working on granting employees college credits for on-the-job training. The company is focused on eliminating unnecessary barriers for associates to advance in their careers, and noted that 75% of its managers, who earn approximately $113,000 $113,000 a year stated in hourly roles which don't require degrees. The workforce must recognize skills the same way it does degrees, the Post said, and give those without degrees the same benefit as those with them. And that was the end of the article. It was a very short article. But I feel like I've always been for this plan. As a person who didn't go to college, and not because I didn't want to, just because it was hard to be attainable. As a person who is a recipient of DACA, college for me, even though I have lived here since I was 6 years old, I have to pay out-of-state tuition. With that being said, I know there's plenty of people out there who have gone through DACA and have gone to college, and great for them. I'm glad there's people out there who fought to make it to where they are. For me, it just wasn't attainable. I had a family to look after, which is my family, my parents, my brothers and sisters, no sisters, just my brothers. As being the older sister, I was always put on this role of I have to take care of my family, and I didn't mind it. It is how, at least my generation, my parents raised me, and I don't regret it, but at the same time, I just wasn't able to get the money together to go to school and be able to do all of this too. So I was thankfully lucky enough to be put in a company where, as much as some days I go in and I'm like, I don't want to do this today. At the same time, I was thankful enough that I was a hard worker and eventually just kept climbing the ladder and eventually got to where I am today. Thankfully, I have an office job. I do planning for the company that I work for, and it pays the bills. It gives me extra money, and that's great. But thankfully, none of those positions that I eventually got to require a college degree. Would it have been great? I'm sure. But thankfully, they didn't require it, and I was able to get to where I am today. But for a lot of the people out there, there's a lot of these positions that I know there's people out there who they can possibly do those positions without the degree. And I agree that sometimes it's all based on skills. I know plenty of people could have the skills to do something, and because of whatever life threw at them or whatever curveball they got, they couldn't make it to college, and they are where they are now. But thankfully, either some of them got the opportunity to be able to get a high-paying job or get a corporate job without a degree, and some of them just didn't get that chance. So I feel like more companies should start doing this. They shouldn't. Some people should be known for their skills and be able to get those corporate jobs without having a degree. So that's my take on that one. And if you really have another take on that one, I'll fight you about it. I'm kidding. I won't, but I think it is. I think it should be something that every company should be doing. You know, plenty of smart people who just got the bad cards dealt in their lives, and they could do so much in a corporate job and that kind of stuff, and they just don't get those chances. I'm with Walmart on this one. I can't disagree with them. I feel like there's the thing, and I do agree that there should still be jobs out there who do require a degree, like lawyers and doctors, you know, any of those people who really have to deal with our health and stuff like that. Yes, I do agree that some careers do definitely need a degree. But climbing up corporate ladder, I feel like it shouldn't need a degree. I feel like if the person is smart enough, workful enough, and you've seen that they've going up the corporate ladder, they have proof time and time again that they have the brains to learn something new and have always exceeded expectations and stuff, then they should be able to keep pursuing higher and higher positions. But that's just my 2 cents. I have nothing else to say to them. So if you disagree that they should require degrees, let me know why. Because I don't know, maybe you could also be in a corporate thing and really think that they do need those degrees. But I don't know. I am with Walmart on this one. I will stick to that one, and I have always felt this way. Not everything needs a degree, and even like some of the people who were higher than me, who are now no longer in my plant, a lot of those people, they also would tell me how blessed they were, that they were glad that the company didn't require degrees to the positions that they got to because they didn't have them. But thankfully, they were doing better than a lot of the people who did have degrees. And, it's just, you had to find that one company who will let you. So, to all those companies out there, please start letting people get corporate positions due to skill and not always degree. But I'm hoping for the best. And that would be all for our stories of this week. Hopefully we kept it short, simple, to the point. And I hope I'll see you again next Monday, maybe. Who knows? But, alright guys, I'll let y'all go. Have a good weekend. Be safe out there. Stay positive. I know there's a lot going on right now, but try to stay positive. Keep your mental health healthy. And I'll see y'all again next Monday. Bye.